A warm greetings to one and all present here. Today we are going to discuss the topic neuromorphic computing, which is mimicking the human brain. So why did we choose this topic? Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever wondered how our brain, a low-powered biological organ, can do things that even the most powerful supercomputers struggle with? Can recognize faces in millisecond, learn from just one experience, consume about 20 watts of power and about the same as light bulb. Now compare that to the modern system. They require massive GPUs, huge amount of power, and still fall short when it comes to flexibility and real-time learning. So this is the neuromorphic computing. This is where this technology called neuromorphic computing comes in, a way of designing computers that learn not just like us but almost as us. So what is neuromorphic computing? First, let's go with the definition. So the term was coined by Cravat Mayat in 1980s. At its core, neuromorphic computer refers to building computer systems that mimic the structure and function of human brain. Instead of using traditional architectures like CPUs or GPUs, neuromorphic chips are made up of artificial neurons and synapses models after biology. So, what are the key features of this? The first one is spiking neural networks, which communicates using spikes, very similar to like neurons. Asynchronous processing, meaning that they don't run on a global clock like normal processors. And next is event-driven behaviors. They only respond when something happens, just like the sensors do. These systems aren't just efficient, they are adaptive. They can learn, respond, evolve, all while using less energy. Brain versus traditional computers. So if you see the comparison, if the architecture in the human brain is distributed and in classical computers it is centralized, learning as we human do is on the fly, but in this it will be tree-trained, and processing style is massively parallel, but in this it is sequential. So the energy use is basically for our human brain is 20 watts and that is 100 watts. The core architecture and principle. So now let's dive into how neuromorphic hardware actually works. At the heart we have neurons and synapses, just like brains. Just like in our brains, neurons fires when they receive enough input, and synapses determine how strong the connections are. So in the neuromorphic chip, we use electronic circuits to mimic this behavior. Neurons send spikes like voltage changes to another neuron. Synapses are modeled using memristors, special components remember past voltage and adjust strength accordingly. These chips are kind of AI models called spiking neural network (SNN), unlike neural networks where signals are flowing. SNN are driven, meaning they only act when something changes. This makes them very energy efficient and great like pattern recognition or auditory processing in real time. So what are the if you see about the spiking neural networks SNN, and there are many features in this, which is they can be deep, like they can be like they are in spikes, binary events, and it have its own training method called spike training based learning, and they are power efficient and their biological accuracy is high. Now we can see the real world examples of this project, and the first is IBM True North. Has over 1 million artificial neurons and 250 million synapses. It can perform complex pattern recognition using very little power. Next is IntelliHoi, supports original learning. That means it can learn new tasks while running without needing to be programmed. Spinnaker and Brain Scales. These are neuromorphic platforms designed for stimulating parts of the human brain. And where can this application take place? So in autonomous drones and robots, they need to respond quickly to the environment. In it's AI like smart security cameras and wearable devices, and in brain computer interfaces, helping disabled patients to control prosthetic limbs, and the voice and gesture recognition, especially in noisy and dynamic environment. Challenges and limitations. So training SNNs is very hard, and lack of standard tools, hardware complexity, and low. So these are some limitations. So what might is the future of this neuromorphic computing? So if you think where we are headed, so there are many hypotheses and many outcomes that may arise. So researchers are working on hybrid model like systems that combine traditional and deep learning with spiking behavior. New materials like memisters and 3D neuromorphic chips are being developed to make more brain-like. And we are tightening collaboration between neuroscientists, hardware engineer, and AI developers to make better models and real brain work. So that is my final thought. Like the brain isn't just a fast computer; it's this different kind of computer, and we humans trying to adapt that is a great thing and greatly a leap in the human society and the evolution. So let's see what happens.